welcome to your program just for you. And as I always say, it's cut out just for you on mine because you are great, you are marvelous, and you are someone that I do appreciate for being able to tune in to my program daily. And this is your man, Sonny Wayne Fella. I'm glad to be with you today, wherever you may be. And I say good morning, good afternoon, and good night. But there's something that is so peculiar and so important that we talk about. And that thing is the situation that we find ourselves in our beloved and beautiful country, Liberia. We realize that over time, so many houses has been burned down to ashes. 11 people have died since January, I believe, till now. 91 houses has been burned down. And it seemed like nothing, absolutely nothing was done about it. And you can definitely attest to it. Those of you who are Liberians or live in Liberia, and I'm not saying that any other country is immune to homes or houses being burned down. I'm not saying that. My beef is when all of the 89 houses that was burned down, nothing came out of it. But when 2 houses were burned, now the guy who was responsible for fire services in Liberia have now gone to the Ministry of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism to give a press conference on what they will begin to do because of 2 leaders, Sir Joseph and the Speaker of the House of Liberia, Kofa. I think to me that is saddening and that is despicable, so to speak. For we tend not to care about the common man, as we call it, or as they call it, because I was listening to the press conference from the speaker, and he was talking about the common man, people who didn't have anything, people who were suffering, people who were living in zinc shacks, people whose homes were not up to date like their homes. So they were the common people. But now that their houses have gotten burned, gutted by fire, now there's about time that they do something about it. You know, I was taken aback when I heard that even the fire service in Liberia, the fire department in Liberia, don't even have a budget. I tend not to truly believe it. Because how can an important department not have a budget to run on? And I see why the people there working are not fully trained, because there is no money to help them train the way they should so that they can be more active, more proactive, quick to be able to deal with situations when they arises. How do you expect them to be to your house in 10 minutes or in 5 minutes when your house is on fire, and then you blame them for coming 2 hours late? You guys are the authority. You have the power. You make decisions. You make the laws to govern our country. But you sit on your hands because it didn't happen to you, so you just don't seem to care. But now that it has happened to you, you want to do something about it. Having big press conferences and talking about, now we got to do something about this. And the department head is saying they're going to go around and begin to tell people they're going to do awareness. And why didn't you do it when these things were happening to the common people, as you call them? Why didn't you do it? Why do we like for things to go awry before we begin to take a stand, to do something about it, when the common people have died and they are suffering, homeless? The speaker was talking that when his house got burned, the former president George, we are giving 3 suitcases of clothes and open his home to him to be there temporarily. Did that happen to the other people, the common people that they call common people whose homes got burned? Did he give his house to them? You know, it is so, you know, hard to digest because the way we treat one another. I always say we should be very careful because when you are climbing the stairs, the very people that you pass by when you are climbing the stairs are the very people you're going to pass by when you are coming down those stairs. You know, life is not permanent. Life is not permanent. Not because you are in that position today, so you believe that you will always be in that position. You can't tell what tomorrow brings. So if you are in position to be able to help those that you call the common people, you all need to take your step in the right direction so that these people's homes can be safe and protected by giving money to the Department of Fire Services so that they can train their people adequately. People were making fun of them. Oh, they were confused. They didn't know what to do. How would they be confused when no money is going into the pockets to be able to help them? And when I said their pockets, I don't mean that they should corrupt by stealing the money, but I'm talking about into their department so that they can train these people adequately and they can respond in a timely manner. I understand that there are people with their private and fire trucks and stuff that usually come in to help. And I want to say thanks to Representative Ability and others who were able to come in to help. But it is embarrassing. Individuals have fire trucks, but how many fire trucks does the Republic of Liberia have? We always have to depend on somebody's fire truck. What's about the country? What's about the nation of Liberia? How many fire trucks you all have? How many people that are well trained? Even when I was listening to the department head, I don't know even if he really knows what he was talking about. Talking about fire extinguisher, you know the pipe here. What? Fire extinguisher? And look, I want to let you guys know something here. When I was in Liberia, I was stopping at a place. You know, they have these beautiful, colorful, and extension cords. If you all know what I'm talking about. If you see them, they are long. They have a whole lot of places to plug in your stuff, cell phone, fans, or whatever. So we went and purchased one because we thought it was good. It was long. It had a lot of places to plug things. And we decided to purchase it for I think $6 or $7. We took it home to where we were stopping while in Liberia. And we plugged it in the wall, in the outlet. And I'm telling you the truth. That thing caught fire. As soon as we plugged our fan and one now, boom, it caught fire. We had to pull it out of the wall. Luckily, my wife was there and she saw it faster than me. She said, oh, look. And I pulled it out of the wall. But her shoes even got burned because where it was sitting. So if you went and purchased such cheap Chinese-made extension cord, you have to be very careful. We have to take that extension cord back and purchase one that costs us $15 and that's the one that worked properly. But I know many of us cannot afford $15 to go and buy an extension cord, so we prefer buying the cheap ones. The $6, the $5, the $7 ones, the $3 ones. And those ones are dangerous. Some of those things are the ones destroying and killing people and burning homes in Liberia. These things need to be checked on. If you are the head of the department, fire service department, you can't just allow these things to come into our country and you don't really know how well it works. Yeah, people, they're saying that, oh, people maybe overloaded them. Yeah, but if those holes are there, those plugging places are there, then what is that? What is it there for? It's for you to plug stuff in those very particular holes. So if they are there and you are saying that they are using it, no, you are wrong. Because if it's only for 2, then let's use 2. Okay? Then let it only be 2. You cannot put more than what you should put there. And that's the problem we are faced with in our country. You know, maybe I can show you one of what I'm talking about here. I don't know whether the camera will be able to pick it up, but I wanted to show you some of the plugs that we have here in the States. And these ones don't cause fire. I know homes burn down here for whatever reason. Some people cooking in their stove, catch on fire or whatever the case, candles. There's so many other things that causes homes to burn. Okay, in Liberia, we hardly have lights. People use candle. They sell gas. They take where the gas is, they carry the lanterns, they carry the candles, they carry stuff there. That's what people do, and these things causes fire as well. But I'm just giving you my experience. When I bought this outlet, this extension cord, it caught fire. Almost want to burn down this people resort because of the kind of cheap stuff we allow in our country from China. And because we feel our people don't have much, so if we bring this cheap product into our country, people can buy them and live maybe a semi-luxury life or a semi-better life, but not knowing they're going to end up killing themselves. So beware. Those of you in Liberia, even those of you in the diaspora, if you are traveling to Liberia for some short visit, be careful with what extension cord you purchase to use in your home, in your apartment, in your little resort or wherever you would be. Be very careful. Those things are death trap. They are dangerous. They are very dangerous. So I want to say thank you so much for joining me. And that's what I wanted to talk about a little bit today because it grieves my heart. It saddens me to see people losing their lives and houses being burned down and nothing has happened. But now that two leaders of our country, people are now stepping up. They are going to give awareness and they're having press conferences, as I mentioned earlier. Why are we always looking down on people that we call the common man? Because they can afford it. Sir Joseph can afford to build himself a new house. In fact, the speaker was bragging that is material thing. Those things can be replaced. But what's about the common man who had his little hunchback television? What's about the little common man who had his little rattan chair in his living room? Who literally had a mattress laying on the floor to sleep? And these things happen to him or her. What happened to them? Do they have the money to replace them? So let us love one another. Let us care for one another. We shouldn't wait until somebody big in authority face the same dilemma and then that's when we step up to do something about it. Maybe if we had done something, 91 homes won't be burned. Maybe if something had been done, 11 people won't have been killed, 2 won't have been wounded. But because nothing, those of you who should be doing something, you sit on your hands and you don't do anything to help our people. And that is wrong. That is despicable. That is being wicked. That is sorcery. That is witchcraft. You cannot do that to our people. You cannot do that to our people. So all this thing you are going on talking because you know now things are getting out of hand. People are talking about it. So now you guys want to step up, to pretend that you want to step up. But tell you the truth, I don't know even if you will step up. Because you should have started the awareness long time ago. Not now. You should have talked about training long time ago. Not now. And the government should allocate certain amount of money to the fire department of Liberia so that they can continue to begin to do the right thing. Not continue, but to begin to do the right thing. I'm a little bit emotional and I'm sorry, but that is what is happening in our country. And our people are losing their lives. Properties have been destroyed. And even our people, when somebody make them angry, the next thing they go to resort to is to burn down the person's house. How stupid are we to do such a thing? How crazy are we to do such a thing? We don't have good infrastructure in our country. And those of you who try to do their best to build something better, to make our country, to be a country, to make it beautiful. And then because you did something to them or they did something to you, and then you decide because you have the power in your hands, and we always say there is no law and order in our country. So you go and burn down police stations, you burn down people's homes. How dumb are you to do such a thing? Is that a solution? If someone did something to you, or you feel the person is a part of another party, or they owe you some money, or you and them had a dispute, is the solution to burn down their property, to destroy their property? People went to my land and I was building my fence and my house and they broke down the walls, pushed the walls down and busted them up. Because why? because you claim that the land is yours. You don't have any paper to prove anything, but then you resort to destroying people's property. The government of Liberia, the leadership, the police and NSA and others need to get involved in these things and be able to stop the land issue in Liberia, because this will cause more lives than you can. And now no big person have been killed, so nobody is doing anything about it. But if a leader get killed, or their family member or son or daughter get killed, then you guys will go and stand on the Ministry of Information, Culture and Tourism and begin to give press conferences. That is wrong. You guys need to begin to see these things that are causing trouble for our people and begin to nip them in the behind, because they are not good for our people. They are not good for our country. I might sound like I'm preaching. I'm not preaching, but it's bothering me. It's troubling me to see our people suffering in our country, and people just sit on their hands, sit on their real ends and do nothing, absolutely nothing about it. That is wrong. And you need to step up, people. Because our people are taking law in their own hands because the authority aren't doing anything about it. And that's why people are getting killed. Houses are burning. Things are being destroyed. And that is wrong. So those of you, my subscribers, I want to say thank you for returning. Thank you for being there with me all the time, for your consistency. Those of you who watch my video and have not subscribed, look, I have just 14 more subscribers to hit my first target. 14 more subscribers to hit my first target. Will you be that one? Will you be the 14th to make me hit my first target? 14 subscribers. I only need 14. So I want to tell you, speak to our friends, share my video, tell them about my video, because this is from my heart to your heart. So help me. Let me hit my first target. And then from there we can keep stepping up. But I only have 14 more. So if you will be one of those that will help me to get those 14s, I want to say thank you. And when I hit my first target, I will make it known to you. So those of you who have not subscribed, I ask your indulgence. Subscribe. And let me continue what I'm doing, because I love doing this. All right? So thank you again for joining me, and I will see you soon. Please leave me a comment. It is important. Based on your comment, I can adjust, I can readjust, and maybe I can do better. But I want you to please leave me a comment in the description box. I thank you so much, and God bless you.